Woo, welcome, welcome. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Make sure y'all like and share. Got some special guests for y'all this evening. Got the brothers of Real in here with us. We'll make these first few minutes a social media break, man. Y'all make sure y'all like and share this thing out. Ms. White, thank you for dropping in. All right, we're gonna get started here in just a couple of minutes, just a minute. Y'all continue to like and share, Let's get these numbers up. Once again, we got the brothers of Real in here with us today. Pink Shui, what's going on, fam? Diamonds are Rare Jewels White, thank you for dropping in. All right. All right. We thank y'all for dropping in once again. This is the Caravan Drink Redo. I am Johnny J, and we have the brothers of Real in here with us today. Y'all pick up the mics over there. We got mics over there stretching for y'all.
Dreamers, dreamers, come on in, come on in. You know what it is. It's 8 something. It's Monday. Like and share, like and share. Come on in, drop your cash app too. Might give you a little something this afternoon, evening. This afternoon, evening, right?
I don't know which one.
All right, all right. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Y'all, we got some special guests in the house this evening. We are live at Dark Phoenix Radio. We got the real men in the house. All right, we're going to talk to them. And we appreciate y'all for now. Look, we know the game is on. Yeah, okay, all right, whatever. And guess what? We're going to find out their score, whether we watching it or looking at Facebook, all right? So y'all come on in and join us. All right.
We ready to go. We got the guys on.
Give us some. Give me a mic check.
Yo, we're trying to get the thumbs up from the people out here in the audience before we get started.
Right.
Somebody give me a thumbs up out there if you can hear us good. Or tell me if it don't sound right. I think we're ready to go.
Okay. All right. Somebody just let us know if you can't hear us. Or give me a thumbs up if you can. We just want to make sure. Let me let the guys say something. Mic's not working for the guys. You hear me, Johnny? Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Okay, I know I can hear that one. Right.
First question. What is real? What does that mean? What is it? Real mean? What is art? What does it stand for?
Real relationships of excellence and accountability.
With this dude right here.
Also, man, just look past John.
Which one's what?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I don't know. His Barry White voice. Y'all switch out mics. Give Barry White that one.
All right.
Now,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you real
Yes,
good.
he did that on purpose, y'all. That's what Johnny do.
That's it. That's
So
it.
you
I
want
tried.
you want me to answer your
I
question
tried.
again?
Answer that question again so everybody can hear.
Okay, well, Real Man is actually a newly formed nonprofit. It actually is an acronym and it stands for Relationships of Excellence and Accountability Through Love and Exposure. We actually go out in the inner city and we find high potential children and we expose them to things that they otherwise wouldn't be able to see, recognize, or even understand.
What methods? I mean, is it a after-school program? Is it a mentoring program? How do you actually engage with kids?
Well, actually, we're in the infant stages of our nonprofit, and we're actually in the process of developing curriculums for children for after-school programs. We're actually in the process of creating some partnerships to reach kids on the state level, take them, let them see what politics is, teach them about their civic duty. And also, it's not so much just for the children, it's also for the parents as well, because a lot of times our children suffer because our parents have suffered. And we're hoping to bridge that gap between parents and children. Because whatever we expose the children to, we also want to be able to expose the parents to. And hopefully we'll create that family dynamic that's been missing in our community for many years now.
So is there an event that started it? Do you guys got to was getting together? Did this come from a domino game? How did it start?
How did it start? Oh,
Oh yeah, you gonna do all the talking? Y'all gonna have him do all the talking for y'all?
yeah. Well,
We need to hear everybody's voice.
Right.
I think
So-
Roger,
we can switch out.
Roger has a personal relationship with everybody that's on the executive board. So he shared his vision with us throughout the years. And I think we all share that same sentiment, reaching out to, the inner city youth, because I know for me personally, I was a product of the inner city youth, and, I didn't have a whole lot growing up. And I want, especially raising boys, as a father, I want to expose my children, to different things that I didn't see. And I also want to reach out, into the community also to give those opportunities as well. So I think we all share those sentiments. So we all came together, and, Roger brought us all together to put something into action. So that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
All right, you know what? So let's back just a few minutes. Can y'all tell me y'all names? Like, maybe, we don't even really, we need to know who y'all are. People, can you say, this is me and I, okay, I just want to know. Tell me who you are and what do you do?
Okay, well, my name is Richard Roby. My family has been in the airport business for about 30 years in airport concessions. Former railroader and just running the family business and trying to do everything in the city where I grew up in, to try to change things and make a difference. So.
Okay, so you're from Fort Worth as well?
Yes, I'm from Fort Worth.
Everybody's from Fort Worth? Okay, all right.
I'm Roger Fogle. I'm a barber, coach, just somebody who loves the community.
All right.
I'm Keyston Buckley. I'm an independent insurance adjuster by trade, but I lived in Fort Worth my whole life. I'm also a minister at the Bethany Church in Fort Worth.
All right.
My name is John Crane. I'm a serial entrepreneur, own multiple businesses, own a lawn service, real estate business, also a minister in the community as well. And such as these guys have said, we just have a heart for the community, and so we're really just giving back, reaching back. And some of the things that we saw that we didn't have as youngsters, we want to make sure that the next generation has those things and can't say that they didn't have those resources. So we're eliminating excuses for the next generation.
Absolutely. So listen, I have a question for you guys. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would be out of line and out of order if I didn't tell you about, of course, let me tell you, I'm the president of REAL. This is our secretary. John Crane is our historian. Richard Roby is our insight specialist. We also have Dr. Carlos Walker. He is our grant research guy. We have Bishop Jeffrey L. Hodge. He is our chaplain. And Rodney McIntosh, right? Did I say Rodney? Rodney McIntosh, he's our vice president. So I wanted to make sure that everybody, even though they're not here, also we have Dante Jones, he's our treasurer.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure everybody knows
Thank
who
you.
the board is.
Yes, thank you. We don't want to miss anybody. So here's my question. Being in the community and everything, I just wonder if you all have considered, or maybe when you go and mentor kids, I don't know if you just do young men or just kids. Okay, all right. So have you ever thought about the saying where they're talking about, what is it called, prison to pipeline situation, where
Pre-K to prison.
pre-K to prison pipeline. And I'm just wondering, do you think that you can have an effect on these young men to where, it's going to make a difference in their life?
Yeah, and that's the overall goal. That's that category age group, right? And it just keeps getting younger and younger. I think when we were growing up, it used to be, your 8th, 9th grade, 7th, maybe your 6th, and now it's just getting earlier and earlier and earlier. And whenever you go into these schools, especially, because every school from when we were kids to now have their career days and people come in, it's a little disheartening to see that a lot of our kids, they're looking up to people who are good brothers, your LeBron Jameses and your Patrick Mahomes and everything like that. But, you can't really touch those people on a regular basis. If you see them, it's going to be at a game, maybe on TV, or you get a glimpse of them walking out a locker room, but to actually be people who come from all walks of life, business owners, different paths. I think we all have similar paths, but different little aspects to where kids can maybe latch onto it and kind of see, all right, well, hey, there are other options out there other than what you see on a music video or running down the street on Cops or Channel 5 News, right? So what our goal is, hopefully, is obviously, we've got our things that we're working on, some stuff that we're starting. But our goal is to be able to get a whole lot of other like-minded men from other communities, Hispanic men, white men, Chinese, Asian, whatever they want to do. I mean, because whenever we go to these schools, it's not just black kids, it's not just Hispanics. It's a lot of them mixed in our class, and we wouldn't be doing ourselves a service, overall as a people. If we didn't try to address some of those situations. So.
Anybody else?
Fantastic. We definitely see the need to reach the younger generation. As he said, it is getting younger and younger. As he stated, when we were, coming up, it was 6th, 7th, 8th grade, that middle school age that we really need to reach. But now you see these kids are being exposed to so much so early, and because of that, we've got to get to them early. We've got to show them that there's other opportunities out there. There's other things than, like he said, those some of the negative influences that they're getting, and they get exposed by so much because of the technology nowadays. And so we've got to do a better job at using that same technology to expose them to the good things, right, instead of those negative things. And so, as Roger alluded to, we're starting partnerships to try to help them to get that technology to use that so they can start become career goal minded even earlier now, right? And so we're just some men who want to do better by our community. Some of us want to right our wrongs. We want to make sure that we can share our stories with these young men and tell them, man, there's another way, other than what you've, been accustomed to seeing. And so, we're just, that's what we're wanting to do in our community. And so we're just out there doing the work. We're not guys that sit in suit and ties behind desks. Again, I own a lawn service, so I'm used to serving. And so that's what we want to do. We want to serve our community. And reaching those young children, early age, elementary, pre-K, man, it's important to reach them right away.
Yes, that is very true. I think that's awesome that you all are definitely here to mentor young men, because the thing is that oftentimes they're looking up to, like he said, the athletes and these rappers and that kind of thing. And you know what? And I don't think they really even want that. You know what I'm saying? Those celebrities, they're saying, hey, y'all you mentor your own kids. We just, because that's all they doing. And see, the thing is, we see these rappers and these celebrities, they got all this money, and the kids are trying to figure out how to get it quick, because that's what it looks like. So that's how they make that mistake, because they think, oh, I got to steal or get drugs, sell drugs and that kind of thing to get to where these celebrities are getting. And at the end of the day, they don't really know their story. So
that's true. But also I need to interject, like we are geared toward the young men, but we're working on, I need to let everybody know that we're working on some projects and some things that where we want to include the women into it, what Real does, because I also believe that we got to reach back and get our little girls too. But with everything that's going on, and you just never understand people's mindset and their intentions, that's why we haven't actually opened up our volunteer opportunities yet, because we want to make sure that we got everything in line. We want to make sure that the right people come along when they join us. A lot of people, they see the glitz and glamour and they want to be a part of it, but they don't want to do the work, and they have bad intentions. But let's please, I love all kids. I love the boys and the girls, but we need people to understand that we just can't make it about the boys. We got to also reach back and get the girls. But again, we are reaching out, talking to some people. A lot of women have been calling and asking and inboxing, and I've just been telling them, just hold on a second, because we got to make sure we have our ducks in a row. We got to make sure we have some order.
Yes.
Because most of all, we want the children to be safe, and we also want the parents to feel safe, and want the parents to be involved with both. I just had to interject that. I'm sorry.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
How can we get in touch? How can, if somebody, has, a kid they might want to get mentored or may want to put them in one of the programs, or maybe just go out on a field trip with y'all? How can they get in touch with you guys?
Okay, well, we're on social media. We have a Facebook page, and it's Real Fort Worth. We also have Instagram. It's the same. It was just Real Fort Worth, and we also have a website. Is wearereal.org. So you can connect with us on any social media platform, and also you can reach out on our website. And we also, if you have any other donation requests or anything like that, that's all on our website.
Okay. And I saw I was on the site myself, and I saw some field trips y'all made us. I saw some from MLK parade, I think I saw, and a couple of other events and stuff like that. So you kind of take the kids out. I guess that's part of the mentoring. Yeah.
That's part of it. We've taken kids to the University of Texas Austin Spring game, let them see the UT campus. We've taken some kids to the Black Rodeo that they have every year, the MLK parade. We've done a lot. We also took some kids to the UTA basketball game to put them on a college campus, and that's the reason that we choose those venues. At least they'll know what a college campus looks like, and they'll know what it feels to be on a college campus. And also, we've done motivational Mondays at the local elementary school. Of course, Richard has more too.
Dry. And that personal relationship with the actual kid, or, you can't just sit behind the book all the time. You got to, the way that I really learned growing up, you had to make sure it was interesting to me, or I was just spazzed out. So it's just, coming up with the programs to be able to actually do that and then get what we really want in there on the back end of it, 40% of it or whatever, that's real crucial, which is why we're trying to take so long and putting this thing together, because you want to do it the right way.
Yes.
Right? You can't have somebody out there telling them they need to do it the right way, and next thing you know, whenever the layers of the onion get pulled back, you're exposed with a lot of faults that you would have about rushing, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Anyone else?
You guys have any plans? Like I see that, I guess most or all of y'all are entrepreneurs. So do you have any plans, like maybe a work program, something where they can come to work with you, come out to the barber shop with you, come out cut some lawns with you, something like that?
Yeah.
Tell us about something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We also, we would be doing a disservice if we didn't offer those opportunities as an organization. Because if we want to cater to the whole man or the whole woman, we've got to make sure things are in place to give other options. So yeah, we definitely have opportunities, work opportunities. Our thing is we want to expose. And that's in the acronym, that's in the name, that's the E of the real, right? And so we want to make sure that we can expose children to other things, right? And so we would be doing a disservice if we didn't offer those other work opportunities and just saying, hey, you can do something different, but we don't have anything for you. We would be doing a disservice if we just said that. And so, yeah, we have, my doors are always open for people to come and work. As long as they're serious about working, my doors are always open. And so, yeah, we have those opportunities. And in addition to what the guys were saying, some of the other field trips that we've done, we also do educational field trips. We've gone to a historically black museum in the city. We've taken them to see those things because, we not only just want to show them the fun things, but we want to show them the educational things as well. And so, yeah, we do many things to, just expose them to things that, they may not always have seen before, right? Right under their noses, right? So we want to make sure those things are in place.
Absolutely. Okay, so here's my thing. You guys are in the community, and oftentimes it starts out here. So my question is, anybody have any political aspirations? Like, look, we're looking for somebody that's willing to run for mayor at some point. So I'm just wondering, are we interested in the city council, or, the librarian? I don't know, just something. Anybody?
Any of you brothers over there interested?
He said, "Are y'all over?"
I guess if you want to comment.
Let me let our insight specialist comment on that.
Currently, no. as people get older, stuff changes, right? 10 years ago, I probably would have told you I'd be some railroad something by the end. 10 years ago than that, who knows what I would have said. As of right now, probably no way. Way I figure it, why do that when you can spend your time face to face? They have to go to a lot of meetings and conferences and stuff and that's important though. It's always important to have influence with people who have focus on making sure we got the right people in positions to be able to help real or whatever their goal is. I can't see a reason why all that can't be branched together. Once because everybody's agendas really line up almost the same. I mean, yeah, there are going to be other avenues, but whenever it comes to kids, right? I mean, basically everybody's program is going to mesh with each other. So, I guess long story short, no.
Well, you know what, I mean, and of course, right now, this is what you're doing, and so I'm saying, and you probably don't even know, but I'm sure that somewhere down the line, because, okay, let me just say this. My brother, that's John Crane, and we are looking for him to run for the mayor of Forest Hill. He don't, you know what I'm saying? He may not want to, but that is what we are, have hopes for.
Yeah. And I grew up in a political environment. I mean, that's part of the reason why I probably have the mentality that I have now. My godmother was a former county commissioner here, the Honorable Dion Bagsby. Did a lot for me, helped shape my view on politics and business and just being the man that you're supposed to be when people have high expectations of yourself, right? But man, it's hard work.
All right.
And to add to that question, right now, we don't have any plans to actually run for any offices or anything like that, but we are willing to be a part of holding our local city officials accountable and letting them know about us, being a voice for our community. Like, I don't think a lot, and it's not a knock on anybody else or what they do, but I'm a firm believer in what's the use of having a seat at the table without a foot in the street? You need. Right. But also we have to hold our community accountable as well, because if I bring this back to you, you want me to go and tell them what you want, how you feel, and what you need. So when I bring it back to you though, what are we gonna do with it?
That's right.
See, it's cool. We can't. In the words of Johnny Judah, you can't get mad and take your basketball and go home. Like, I'm just sorry because it didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. Right. Like you didn't get picked. And that's a lot of times, when you're dealing with a lot of this stuff, a lot of people get mad because they didn't get picked. But what's the use of being picked when you really wasn't chosen?
That's it.
See, this is a chosen calling. This is a chosen walk. You got to really, God got to really put this on you. God got to really be dealing with you and making you go out and do this, because this is hard. Getting up every day, dealing with children, getting the phone calls, seeing the stories, parents calling, and it's hard. Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Everybody can't do this work, but it doesn't mean that you can't be a part of the work. But I don't think that our political aspirations right now are I don't even think we have any. I think we have more community aspirations, more than anything.
Right.
So, you never know what might happen 6 months, 2 years, 10 years. You just never know what might happen. But right now, we're more focused on creating partnerships and relationships between the community and local government. Let's fix this problem. Like, we sitting around talking about all these problems. We're having all these problems. What solutions?
Yeah.
So, okay, you want to do this? Well, I'm going to show you how to do this.
That's it.
You want to know this? Well, I'm going to tell you this. I know where to go get it from. I know who to go talk to. So when I bring it back to you, what you going to do with it? Right. Also, that works both sides. Like, the community, like, they got to come on out. Man, that's your voice. That's your right. Man, go check these people. Don't hoop and holler. Sit down and have a legitimate conversation, man, and tell these people how you feel. What's wrong with that? We can't just show up when it's convenient for us. We got to show up all the time. Like, it's so much like we only want to show up in certain situations when certain things happen. We got to get away from that. Like, we got to be there. This is a big old pie. We got to talk about the whole pie, not just this corner slice of the pie. We got to talk about the whole pie. We got to fix that pie. You can't put ingredients on this side of the pie and ingredients don't go on this side of the pie. So I guess I'm avoiding that question for a reason. A lot of people have been asking us like about political aspirations, but as of right now, I think I can speak on behalf of everybody. I don't think that's our focus right now. I think our focus is more about being community involved, creating relationships and partnerships to let people know what we got going on and getting both sides of the fence involved and creating an accountability level that we hold everybody to, both sides of the fence to. So I just had to interject that. I'm sorry, Johnny.
Oh no, I get it. As far
I'm
as
surprised he didn't take his basketball and run home because he didn't
ain't
get picked.
nobody. I get it as far as the political aspirations because I think you can reach more people in a quicker time when you do it kind of grassroots. When you do it politically, it's certain things, certain hoops you got to jump through, you know, certain guidelines you got to follow. It's certain things that restrain you, especially when you're talking about going out into the community. You can't just run out into the community when you got political things over your head like that. You guys, you get to move around like you need to. So yeah, I think that is an advantage, especially at this point. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Definitely with you on that one. I want to do a little side note on the side. I want to talk about your reading program. I want you to tell us about your reading program over there at the barbershop, man. I always find that fascinating.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. You know, I don't know. 2 years ago, Forward Thighs D, they did a, I guess you would call it a survey or a test or whatever you may call it, but the numbers came back that I found quite disturbing, where only 3 out of 10 third graders in Forward Thighs D were reading on or above their grade level. So what we decided to do, a lot of local barbershops, I have to give a major shout out to Millennium Cuts, Exquisite Barber and Beauty, Chop House. You even got Goodrich the Barber that's on it. There's a lot of different barbershops. I'm sorry if I don't remember everybody's name.
You gonna hear about it.
Please, I'm sorry, but I want everybody to know, man, you can go in these barbershops. What happened, Forward Thighs D wanted to create a reading initiative that the mayor had noticed that we were having a reading problem, so she wanted to try to come and see what we can do to try to address the reading issue that was going on in the inner city. So from my understanding, she reached out to Forward Thighs D. Forward Thighs D reached out to some of us, and we got books in the barbershop. So instead of coming in the barbershop, playing on your phone, playing on your tablet, sitting around doing nothing, pick up this book and read. And it's funny, man, like, a lot of our kids can read. They just not comprehending what they're reading. So we had to take a step back from that, look at that. Now that's what Real came up with, some of our curriculums and things like that. We got to teach them how to comprehend what they're reading. And hopefully we'll address the literacy problem and the self-esteem problem and all the other problems that are going on in the community. But that's what it's about, man. Just come in the barbershop, read, stop sitting around doing nothing. Just read, pick up a book and read. Like, that's wasted time, that's downtime. Even if you are in there just for an hour. If you really think about it, how long, some grown people, they read, 100-page books in an hour. So if you got a 25-page book, and if you're sitting there reading with that child and helping that child with the words and things like that, they can read that book in an hour too. And it also takes them to a place. Reading for me takes me to a place away from this place. It takes me to a place to where I can actually dream. It changes my thought process. It helps me. It builds me. It strengthens me. And that's why I'm so passionate about reading literacy. Of course, later on down the line, we got reading literacy, financial literacy. We got a lot of stuff coming, man, like for our community. It's not just about that one particular thing, so don't put us in that box, but just be patient with us. But that literacy, that's my baby, that's what I love, that's what I'm very serious about. I'm just like, that's it, that's why I partner with them. Of course, we got all these members in the nonprofit, man, but they all, trust me, they got some stuff that they working on too as well. They gonna pour back in the community and teach them about. I just so you'll know, again, you got a insurance specialist here. So y'all catch that later on. Y'all just didn't catch it then. Then you got a business owner, a businessman. You'll catch that too later on. Then you got another businessman. Then we got our treasurer. You know, you got to have a treasurer to run this. And when I say my treasurer is a finance guy, up, down, side to side, I'm just being honest. Then you got McIntosh, and then you got Bishop Hodge. Just think about that. Just think about that across the board, man. Then you got Carlos Walker, education, curriculum. Think about it. We got a lot. It's coming, man. So, but again, I know I got off of it, but man, I'm just passionate about reading, man. I'm passionate about all types of literacy. But I believe that I call this the dream team. This board is a dream team because you got Michael Jordan, you got your Karl Malone, you got your John Stockton, you got it. And we're gonna address every issue that can possibly be that the community can have, and the government and local city officials can have. No, Rio took care of that.
Okay, so
who's John?
sorry.
Who's John Stockton?
Man, that was my question.
I don't know which one of it is John Stockton. I'm take Pippen before he give me a bad one. You know what I'm saying? Christian Laettner or something. Wasn't he on that team? Which one is Christian Laettner?
Guess what? I passed the rock.
Here he goes, John Stockton right here. Here we go.
I'll take that. They need to know what John Stockton did, though. Think about it. He led that offense. He pushed that offense. He made that team go, man. Like, we're going to do that. Keiston can be John Stockton. Dante can be John Stockton. McIntosh can be John Stockton. It don't matter. Anybody, you can be whoever you want to be. As long as you get it going and you tell us what you want done, we're going to go out there and do it. So it doesn't matter. Keiston got some stuff he want to do. Again, Keiston want to do some stuff. John want to do some stuff. I want to do Richard, Dante, Bishop Hodge, Carlos. Like, man, they all John Stocktons.
Are there other members out there, or there's like just people y'all associated with, some extensions? I saw some people on some of those pictures. I saw Keith Tatum on there. I saw Charles O'Neal. I know he's out of Austin down there, or he commutes from Dallas to Austin. I was just wondering, is it just guys that you guys rub elbows with, or just guys you come in contact with on some of your trips? Is what that situation is?
I don't.
Yeah, that's just basically people who we come in contact whenever we're going out there. Again, you know, because I believe one of the events was the chamber. Was the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce's breakfast that we had. I believe that was last year or something like that. And that was just having those kids in there, putting them in the room of people that they see on news that are from Fort Worth, that run various organizations. And I remember one of the things that I was telling them in the room, because I introduced the speaker that day, was, hey, all y'all in here that I've seen my whole life, hey man, those kids haven't seen you. Go over there and talk to them, shake their hand, take a picture with them. The yearly reminders that pop up on Facebook, of course I got that one right around the time it happened. I guess that was sometime earlier this time, or was it October 31st? Either or. I mean, it's popped up a couple of years now, but people will come show that to you now. Hey man, you remember when we were at the, and I mean, you take it for granted because, literally I go to, seems like 30 of those things a year. So you just take them for granted. And you kind of you know what the goal of it actually is, and that's to be involved in the community in a whole lot of different aspects, right? Because there's so many different lanes in this city that even I learned about it. I was in an organization that was kind of having various individuals throughout Fort Worth of all age groups that they recognize as being quote-unquote leaders of Fort Worth. The only point of that story was all the stuff, kind of what y'all said earlier, that you learn about Fort Worth that you don't even have an aspect of. Because when I grew up here, man, there were parts of the city where, man, it might as well have been New York, as far as I'm concerned. So just going to those little areas and just all the stuff that each one of us is individually involved in, we wanted to keep the circle small enough to where we could come back and be like, hey, man, I got this going on. I think it's going to be great. You got a whole lot of men that are like-minded. We don't have to get bogged down by the fluff or any board approvals or any, none of that. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because a lot of organizations that are larger have to have that, but that's the beauty of what, at least in my opinion, that's the beauty of what we do, is we can move nimbly through the crowd and be able to support ourselves, use our own money to do certain things that we want to do. All of us have given back in various ways, monetarily and through our time, but a lot of that is given to other organizations that do a good job, but I like to know where a dollar of my dollar is going, right? So, that's why, kind of to answer your question on how many other people, or do we have other people on the board, literally it's just the gentleman that we mentioned right now. Now, obviously, you'd be foolish to think, as things hopefully grow and people become to know more and more about real. Obviously, at that point, you have to get more involved with other entities and get other people, because the buzz will probably be too big at that point, right? You know, like a lot of the other nonprofits, that's kind of how it works. But as of right now, I think it's wise for us to be able to just keep those blinders on and focus on what the real goal is, at least in the beginning.
Is there an age limit as far as guys? Like,
Nope. I mean, you know, toddler more than likely ain't gonna be able to handle it, you know what I'm saying? But, and the reason I say that, obviously, because we talked about is specific age groups, right? You know, your elementary school kids going on into it. But the beauty of it and why you like it so much is, I mean, that relationship don't end after year 2, buddy. You know, I'm gonna expect to know what you got going on in your high school. I wanna be able to show up to Dunbar or OD White or whatever it is, and hey, Mr. Roby, you know, hopefully in a few years there's some kind of real scholarship fund or whatever where you can get some of these businesses in Fort Worth who have said that they want to be dedicated to the community, the black community, the Hispanic community. You know, hey, maybe some of those individuals might want to pay for those kids to go to UT or go to whatever it is. And, you know, hey, look, I like to travel, man. I'll pop up at your college, you know? So, I mean, I don't, you know, and going into adults, I mean, it's a lifelong thing. You know, so that's, you know, that's why the age group thing, outside of, you know, your bare minimum child, you know, now, yeah, you know, year 1, more than likely you're going to start out with your 6th, 5th, 7th graders, but the goal is to be able to have classes.
Okay, I have a question. So if you, let's say you come across a family or, you know, with a young man and maybe they have a need, do y'all have something where you kind of, you know, help them out or whatever, like financially, like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they're in a situation they don't have food or they, you know, something like that. And I don't even know if families share that much with you. But if you come across that, are you, do you have a fund that you're like, okay, this is the emergency fund where we can help, you know, these kids or this family or that kind of thing?
Well, actually, we recently just did that. A mother and a grandmother reached out about a child. Well, didn't reach out. I ran across the child and I was like, why you didn't go to school? Why you not in school? He was like, I didn't have any school clothes. I don't have any school clothes. So what I did, I went to the board. Hey man, we got somebody that don't have school clothes, and it had made it happen. Like, we do have accounts where you can donate and stuff like that, but a lot of times we do stuff out of our pocket. You know, what I'm noticing too and what I'm learning, I'm gonna give everybody that's trying to start a nonprofit, I'm gonna give you a nugget. You're not gonna get funding from private funders if the funders don't see you putting back into your own nonprofit. If they don't see the work, you know, a lot of these nonprofits, like what Richard was talking about, and even John had mentioned it, you know, we don't wear suits, you know, stuff like that. Even if you look at our website, we're in our t-shirts because we want to look like what we do. We work out in the community. But again, to go back, we did that. You know, we will do that. If they reach out and if the board votes on it, we're all men. We say our piece on it. We come into an agreement. If we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't. And that's it. But for the most part, if the community reach out to us, we're going to try to, a family, we're going to try to do our best to make what you want to happen. We're going to try to make it. Even if Real can't do it, we're able to point you in a direction to where somebody else might be able to do it. Because it might, you know, some people get a little, when they see you out here doing things, they get a little, they come with the overkill. So it might be too big for Real. But guess what? I know where you can go to so-and-so, and go here and go there, and they can do that.
The prom essay contest that we did. We had a contest to where we had, you know, young men who wrote in the essay to us, and they would win, you know, us being able to pay for their prom. So we did that as well. Nice. So I think that's important, being able to, you know, trust the community to trust us to be able to, you know, try to help with those needs. So and even before Real, you know, came about, I know Roger has been a big spearhead runner, you know, trying to get things done, not just in our community, but, you know, statewide. I know even when the hurricanes came, you know, in Houston, Roger reached out, to everybody. It was like, hey, we got to get water down to these people, and they did a big project like that. So, reaching out to the community and helping those needs. I think that's something that big that we all share, and we want to receive more opportunities like that, and even have the community, give, through our, nonprofit to help people in the community with those needs.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind, we are in the infant stages, so we don't currently have an open checkbook for everybody who comes with a request. Yeah. So, but we do. We always. I mean, that is one of the things. Even before, I think I can speak for everybody. Even before Rio, we were always all giving back to our community. And so now that we've got a dream team of men that are giving back, so we do it in even bigger now, right? So, we have plans on doing other things. We've had we've bought young men prom, suits for prom, right? And we've got things that are in place, but again, it does take funding, and we're all right now coming out of our pocket to make sure everything is happening. And it's okay, but we will ask that the community help us, right? We will ask that the community help us. We don't need your money, but we will ask for your money, right? If you desire to give it, we will take it, right? But again, we don't have an open checkbook for every request that comes in. So I just want people to understand that we're going to do all we can. If we don't have it, we'll put a resource in front of you. Right? If we don't have it, and we'll be truthful about it. If we don't have it, we don't have it. But we can connect you maybe with someone who does have it. And so that's who we are. We're not men who are just, that have everything, but we have access to a lot of things.
Okay.
And so we're just real men, right? And we were, again, like Roger alluded to, we're looking for some real women to help us out real soon, because it's not just the young men that need someone to come and grab them. It's, these young women are exposed to a lot as well,
yes.
Right? And so we've got to work together as family, everybody, young men, women, everything. And we've got to work together as family. But yeah, we do all that we can in-house first. And if we can't, then we'll tap into a resource and try to help somebody get exactly what it is that they need. All right?
Checkbook. But we have an open resource book.
Okay.
Yes.
So with that being said, I know that you all, I've seen when you all would be on Facebook and you'd go and high five the kids and that kind of thing. You get up early in the morning and even rain, sleet, right? I mean, I've seen y'all when it was cold even, had your coats on. Okay, so then if someone has that passion and they feel like, I would love to do that. Is there, are you all gonna take someone else in to be part of you? Is there an interview process? Is there something, what I'm saying? How do you determine whether or not this person is a real man?
Action. Because you gotta remember, we send the invite out. That's the main reason that my board, or our board, is the way it is. It's consistency. Like, didn't miss a day. It's, everybody, everybody talk good, but how well do you walk? You got to remember, even like in the rain, again,
Right.
in the rain, it's freezing rain, and we out there high-fiving kids. Consistency, that's how you show it. Consistency. Of course, we have to, as we grow and get bigger, of course, we will have different background checks and things like that, because we will be dealing with children. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it, if you got bad intentions for the children, please don't come around us.
Right.
I mean, because I'm gonna have bad intentions. I know they probably gonna get on me about saying that, but I just need people. I just need people to know, like anybody that know me know I'm about those kids. I don't play with those kids. I don't play with the kids' lives. I don't take kindly to you bothering kids. That's just like, I know they gonna get on me, but I don't even care. Here I am. Get on me now. So y'all don't know. So just in case y'all see me outside and they jumped on me, y'all know I didn't do anything. The only thing I said was, I can't have you around those kids. I'm sorry. Like, I can't. I refuse to allow it. And I think the board is the same way. They just don't want to say it like I'm gonna say it. So I'm gonna say it. Like, we're not playing about those kids.
Right.
Seriously.
Let me say this, because this world is so many things going on in the world. You don't really know people. You know what I'm saying? Somebody may look like, this is the perfect candidate. You know what I'm saying? There are preachers, there are men of God out there who, when you go back and look, they doing stuff to these kids, and you don't even know it. You hear about this all the time, and in different states and in the city and that kind of thing. How do you know? You know what I'm saying? How do you know that that this person is for real? Like, they don't have those intentions, because generally when people have intentions like that, they don't come up and say, listen, I really do mess with kids, but you know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna tell you. So how do you weed that out? What do you do to be able to really see through that?
So I'm gonna go back to some of my mental health knowledge because of a young lady, Lachelle Grace. Like, the kids gonna tell you, believe it or not. But the only way the kids gonna tell you is once you develop a relationship with the kids, and you got to talk to these kids, and you have to be willing to listen to these kids, because it used to be a time when these kids said these type of things. You don't know what you're talking about. Quit lying. Quit telling, especially in our community. But now, our kids. That's why our kids today are so afraid to talk to their parents, and that's the gap that we're trying to bridge. The kids will tell you what you want to know if you give them opportunity.
Okay.
Kids, they will. Like, we spend a lot of time talking at our kids.
Yes.
But do we talk to and with our kids? That's the missing dynamic. Because the kids are going to tell you exactly everything that you want to know. You know what the Bible says, out of the mouth of babes. Oh, okay. Somebody gonna catch that. I'm gonna let Keyston finish that off. Him and John Crane.
I also wanted to touch on that a little bit because, even before we, get to the kids, I think we need to have a level of discernment to know, especially in our spiritual walk, to know connected with and who we're not connected with, who we won't connect with. I think, me being a minister, John Crane here being a man of God, and then we also have two other board members, a preacher, and then we have two other board members who are preachers as well. And I know you alluded to men of God. Just having that level of discernment, having a prayer life to know, and asking God to direct us and connect us to the people that will help these kids in the long run, because that's the last thing we want to do, is allow someone into not only our space but the space of children for them to be misused and mishandled. That's the last thing we want to do. So staying prayed up, having discernment, and understanding what the kids really need.
Right.
So.
Right. And I'm just being devil's advocate on this, because I know y'all know the story of Eddie Long. He groomed those young men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't start out, right at, what I'm saying, but he groomed them. And so oftentimes, especially when kids don't have a man, a father figure,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And so they take to men like that. And, this man is doing things for them. He's buying things, and, what I'm saying? And it looks like, hey, this is a really nice person, until they, cross the line.
I'm gonna say it again. I need the people, don't play with real. Don't play with Roger, don't play with Richard, don't play with Keyston, don't play with John, don't play with Pastor McIntyre, don't play with Bishop Hodge, don't play with Dante Jones. Don't do it. Because again, like Keyston said, the spiritual, your discernment gonna tell you and let you know. Like, seriously, like, you'll know. And the kids are gonna tell you, don't play with real. I hate to be like that.
So in other words, don't even come in here.
Don't, because you got to remember, you can't come in because God ain't gonna let you come in. You know what I mean? Because the enemy will play a lot of different tricks on you, and just in case you slide in, just know the wrath of real is real.
All right.
I had somebody told me a long time ago that somebody always knows who the bad employee is. You know what I mean? You allow what to go on in your organization that you allow. So, I mean, I know there are instances, I mean, you can't, like the examples that you mentioned, there are examples throughout history on all different parts of the world where you got stuff like that. And, I try not to, you have to think that way whenever you're starting an organization, to have the right protocols in place, right? Your right system of checks and balances and stuff like that. But, whenever it's all said and done, you can't keep looking back at you thinking, who's gonna stab me in the back when you're running forward. We do have, I think, don't we have like a sergeant at arms or something like that? Maybe that's maybe that's what they probably should be doing. But you just So
Who is it?
basically right here. Yeah. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty about being a smaller, nimble organization right now too, right? I mean, we just basically said we got about 6 or 7 individuals. One thing that I did want to bring up as we're talking about background checks and stuff like that, because a lot of times whenever people hear that, you start thinking of what's on the job application and who's going to keep me from that, right? So, a background check does not mean if you had an incident 20 years ago and now you are a polished, tax-paying American that provides for their family and does right in their community. That does not mean that you will be barred from doing anything with real. Actually, it'd probably be suggested, because these kids just can't see CEOs all the time because they need somebody to relate to. And that's why, another thing we were saying, which is why we chose to come and wear your T-shirts and stuff like that. I hate suits, but I can do it. You know what I mean? But give yourself that opportunity to be able to do that, and you ain't got to have on a Gucci jacket and everything fly. That's good, but be able to afford that, man. Don't let that be, what all your money goes to. Have you thought about where you're going to be working at? As a minority, whether you're Hispanic or Black, have you thought about what you're going to do if this career has you tapping your head on that glass ceiling? What are you going to do then? How are you going to have your money saved? You want to take care of your parents. How you going to do that? And how many, you got kids, you got to budget yourself. But, so I just wanted to add that part to it, and I kind of digressed. Just because we run a background check on you doesn't mean that if you're out here and you're a real man or you're a real woman and you have good intentions and you ain't out here trying to have a sergeant at arms punch you in your face, then get a hold of us.
Right. So, another thing that I wanted to ask, so after they turn what age are you like, okay, you're on your own? Is there an age?
Well, as they get older, we never want to lose contact with them. We really don't want you to be on your own. That's the problem. A lot of them get out there on their own and they still lost. They still lost. So this has to be a generational thing. Okay. You got to be able to, the kids that come through now, they got to be able to, they're going to be fathers one day. They're going to be grandpas one day. And that's how you grow it. You keep them around. You make them accountable. I'm really letting the cat out of the bag. But we're going to teach children how to hold each other accountable. We're going to teach them how to mentor. We want them, what we give to the children, we want them to go and give to their peers. Go get to your family members, man. Come back. You responsible as well. Without letting too much out of the bag. That's all I'm going to speak on there. It won't end. Okay. It can end. Nice. It can end.
I've been knowing Roger, who's our president for a long time, since I was a little kid. And I think I'm the youngest. I know I'm the youngest on the board. So Roger came into my life when I was a young kid. So I still have a relationship with him now. Not only as my barber, and sit on the board with him for a nonprofit, but he pours into my life even at 30 years old right now. Nice. So I think having that and having that type of love for a kid will supersede just a small age term limit relationship. We want to build those relationships for lifetimes.
Oh, absolutely. That's good. That's good stuff.
Whatever you got. And the percentage is even less now because I think they just fired one of the only black CEOs, or I think he stepped down from his company for, I think it was an HR issue or something like that. But my point is with 0.8% of CEOs being black or Hispanic, and it even gets worse into the C-suites, whenever you have, let's say you do have that mentor and you go to college and you graduated top of your class and you went to go work at IBM or whoever, the Apple or whatever it is, you still need mentorship because a lot of people aren't going to look like you when you start knocking up the corporate ladder, right? I mean, there were several times whenever I worked with the railroad that, man, you find yourself hunting and hoping that you can find somebody that is your level or higher so you could kind of bounce, hey, man, what happened when you did this? What happened when you did that? So, a lot of people are going to go into businesses and stuff like that as 30, 32-year-olds. I mean, I hope, I don't plan on going anywhere, reach back and call, Numbers and money goes across bridges and is in a whole bunch of different entities and businesses, right? If you're normally successful at one thing, if you kind of keep some real good disciplines, you'll be successful in a lot of other stuff, but it really requires other people to kind of keep you focused because, you 30, 35, you still, you ain't fully developed, you ain't fully grown mentally, at least. You still got a lot of stuff that you're going through that you need work on. And, here's where we are. Hopefully these people come back to Fort Worth and they do the same thing. Like that's the thing that you see with, especially our city, man. I don't know how many people that I knew that actually ended up, being good and doing something, man. They live in New York, Birmingham, Atlanta, like everywhere. Nobody's really coming back to Fort Worth. So as people that are looking to pass the torch, they looking at, where are our kids at? Where are our people? We everywhere, so that's, there's a lot of things that are, you gotta hope you can pull those kids back to our environment, That's how you put money into our community too.
Well, okay. Y'all looking at me, so I must say something then. I didn't have anything to say, but no, seriously, it takes a village to raise a child. And so, we're going to make sure that we stick with a child until they're, until the relationship ends unto whenever it ends. It just, when you're 17 or 18, it doesn't stop. It's just like my children, my boys are, 20 years old. It doesn't stop now that because they're of age. I don't stop pouring into them. I don't stop mentoring. I don't stop sharing, things that I've been through. So we can't just stop. It has to go until it ends. Right. And so we've got to make sure that we're there. And as Roger alluded to, it's not easy. Because we all have our own lives, but we are dedicated to pouring back, giving back, and so we do all that we can, and so, that relationship, it's not going to stop until it ends, so there is not an age.
Okay, well, listen, y'all are really awesome, and I see we can probably go on and on.
Man.
We do know that the Cowboys game is on, and I know y'all probably won't. But anyway, but this is what I wanted to do. Is there a way that people, if they want to give a donation, or do you all, take donations, or I don't know, maybe you're like, no donations. I don't know.
Oh no, we definitely take donations, and we have multiple ways of reaching out to us. Our website is wearereal.org, wearereale.org. Also, you can reach us on Instagram at Real Fort Worth. You can reach us on Facebook at Real Fort Worth as well. And so we've got multiple ways to be reached. We've also got a toll-free number if you must reach us toll-free. So if you're in New York right now, you want to reach out to us at 833-430-0693, right? 833-430-0693, or you can reach us locally at 817-385-9305. That's 817-385-9305. So we've got multiple ways to be reached. Our president has done a good job to make sure that we have multiple ways that people can reach out to us and contact us, because we're reachable, we're touchable, you can walk up to us, and we're an organization, again, we're grassroots, we're out in the field, right? And so we want to make sure that we have opportunities to touch and talk to everybody that we can, right? So, of course, if they want to donate, there's an option on our website that gives an option to donate. If you like to donate $1,000 or $1, it doesn't matter, or even more. If you've got 20,000, we'll take that as well, because we've got a lot of work to do. It is a write-off, right?
You are 501c.
Yeah, we're 501c. We do have our ducks in a row, so if you like to donate, it is a write-off for you. So some of you guys with deep pockets, amen, just come and see us, and we'll be more than happy to send that letter to you that states that you have made a donation to a 501c3 organization.
He done put his minister.
All right. Amen. Right? All minds clear.
So I know we're about to end this, man, but I can't sit up here, man, and act like everything is going all right in our society, in our community, and anything. But I must remind you all to say her name with me, and her name is Tatiana Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Say her name with me, please. Tatiana Jefferson. I need for y'all to remember to let her live on through your actions, through your movements and things like that. It is a Tatiana Jefferson, and it's not to take any glow or shine or highlight from anybody else's name, but there is a name in my community that happened on a street that I drive by on quite frequently. I can't fix Dallas, I can't fix Houston until I fix Fort Worth. And that's my whole point with it. Tatiana Jefferson. I had to say it, I needed to say it, and I wanted to say it.
That's it. Absolutely.
I agree with you.
Please, I urge my community, go vote. We are, in the early voting right now. Please let your voice be heard. We are in a crazy time in our society right now. So please exercise your right to vote. It is important, not just for us, but for the kids that we're trying to mentor.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
And we definitely couldn't leave this place without giving you guys kudos. And we thank you for allowing us, Caravan of Dreams, for coming in and sharing today your platform and sharing our heart on today. As you can see, we're just, we got plenty to say. We could go on all night. I know a couple of us really could go on all night. But I know, time is short. And so we appreciate you guys for allowing us to come and sit with you guys and kind of share, where we are and what we're doing in the community. So we've got work to do. Again, you can reach us on those platforms there, and we'll love to, have people partner with us. We've got some other partnerships, corporate partnerships, some, local partnerships that we are doing and it's simply all for the community.
Yes.
We're going to make sure that we have these resources, or we're going to allow these resources to be maneuvered to the community so they can take advantage of them, right? And so it's just not for us to be selfish and to house these resources. We're making sure that the community, just as we have opportunity to touch these, resources, the community has them as well. So, but we thank you guys. We appreciate you.
Hey, we appreciate you guys. I just like to see this whole situation. Rarely in my city do I see a group of men get together and try to move forward. I do see it happen sometimes. I see it break up a lot too. So to see somebody come in and put together a group of guys to try to move forward, I love it. I wish to see more of it. We need more men to lead the community. We need more men to lead the families. So this is a wonderful start. It's wonderful for me to even see it. So I gotta say kudos to you fellas. Kudos to each one of you fellas.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Man, okay. All right. Well, so we definitely appreciate you, Real Men. We thank y'all so much for being here with us. And we are going to put your information on our page so that if anyone wants to reach out or whatever, we'll make sure that they get that information. All right. All right. So, Dreamers, thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for hanging in there with us. And we will see y'all. Listen, I know the game is on. Y'all, and some of y'all probably
They're
watching the
probably already
game
gone.
back and forth
Watching
or whatever.
This later. They're going to be watching this later on the replay.
Right? So listen, we'll see y'all. Okay, we'll see y'all next Monday, same jazz time.
Same jazz channel.
All right, y'all, be blessed.